Cheers. Alright. Grand Ascension. Beautiful soul body, soul god, soul goddesses. Is yours truly that goddess, Madam Gold. Well, actually, it's just Madam Gold, aka Mecca Queen, aka that gaudy body. Now, today's a good day, right? It's a brand new day, actually. You feel me? It's a brand new day. Can't you feel the brand new day? But anyway, I thought I would talk to you all in vlog. Really, I guess this will be my first vlog ever, really. So, congratulations if you're here. Congratulations when you appear. Either way, I'm everywhere, right? So, I figured there's a couple of um, pinpoints that I thought I would share with you all. Because today, we are on tours for offices. Yeah, yeah, it's about time, you know. I've been here, I've been there, but I feel like now it's a little bit time right now is the perfect time to spruce it up, you know. Times to rock the night away. Anyway, so I feel real good, y'all. I was thinking about these things because originally I was just gonna do this by myself, behind closed doors, you know, because I really like to just vibe. But I figured, why not? Why not? This is a perfect time, an opportunity to share my thoughts, right? So let's give you a mini tour. So here's the office. You know what I'm saying? Bada bing, bada bang. Yeah, yeah, it's real decent. It's real decent. You know, I can have my interviews and all that shit. Now it's just small. This is just one of them. It's just one of them. It gets better, gets bigger. I figured it's only right. It's only right to really um, share my experience, and especially being that I'm autistic, right? I'm a businesswoman. I'm autistic, and I get shit done. So just to let you know, and anybody who ever tells you or thinking or makes you think or you ever feel about doubting yourself because you feel that you don't align with everybody else, in the great words of the beloved king of comedy, F them. F them, huh? You know what I'm saying? If they don't want to care about you, they don't want to do whatever, don't worry about it. Focus on you because you can get things done. So today's focus is really about office space, all the different type of things that really might come along. Because to be honest, I just decided today was a day, because it's either day one or day or one day, right? But it's only day one because it's what I'm focused on. So we're gonna break it down. So really, the first thing that you should think about in office space is what are you doing, right? When you work from home, if you're working remote, what is your how do I want to how do I want to categorize this? Like how you categorize your work, right? And when you realize, is it something that is private? Then you should probably have a private office. If it is something that is you can kind of be in a co-space, maybe you should deal with a co-space. If it is something where you need to have a conference room, big, huge, you know, it's more than 5 people, baby, I guarantee you, your best bet is to get you a nice wide open space that you can have all you need. So like for me, we're gonna go through a couple of these things, right? I got my handy dandy, can't stick nowhere, but you'll see it, right? But instead, I brought the notes, right? So we can sit down and talk about these things. Cause I'm like, for me, I have no idea. I don't have another um like reference person to go ahead and ask these questions to, right? And when I was talking on the phone with the rep about the company, then their people, they're asking me 50,000 questions I never even knew to think, right? They said, well, what do you do? Well, how would you like to work? And I'm like, what? I don't understand that. I just need you to give me the details. Give me from the least to the greatest, every amenity, every type of thing that you can think of that you offer, and let me choose from that. Being autistic, these questions kind of hectic. You know what I'm saying? It's like I don't really know exactly how to answer. When people say, "How are you?" I don't know. I can tell you about 50,000 things, but is that going to answer your question? I don't know. So let's get down into it. I decided to symbolize this for myself. First thing is how many days? How many days do we want to work? Right? Well, actually, no. Let's rewind because I said, do you need enclosed? Do you need open? Can you work some days where it is like this? Like I have a closed door right now, right? And in the closed door space, yeah, let me go like this so you can kind of get a little more. Yeah, I like this angle. So in a closed door environment, I can't have it open, I can't have it closed, but I feel like this is a little bit more of the privacy aspect that I like to have because sometimes I might need a fidget. Sometimes I might need to get to click in my pen, right? But if I'm in an open space and other people around me, it might agitate them and kind of mess up their work environment. So another thing is too, right? I thought about sensory. Sensory is everything. We got to figure out. I purposely came in with just my own pheromones. I didn't have anything to really like draw attention because you just never know what type of environments other people are willing to work with. Are you good to work with other people, or do you feel like you should just be by yourself? Being that I stream, I feel like maybe I should really just be by myself and not really so much in common areas because that's what I've been working. And I noticed that when I do that, certain people are like, oh, maybe we should. They get camera shy, they get camera crazy, and people don't know how to act. They don't know how to just mind their own business or just do what they're doing. They feel like they have to do something for the camera, but that's not always the case, right? And so I get it. So that's something that you should figure out. Say number one, sensory. As an Aussie, and outside of being an Aussie, you got to think about that too, because sometimes people, well, I guess everyone should think about it, right? And also, people should be more cautious about being in spaces that are open and thinking about other people like ourselves, because we think about everyone else, but how many people really think about us, right? So then the next thing gets into space, right? How much space do you need? Ashe? And are you okay being alone? What stimulates your brain, right? I chose out of it, and let me tell you this too, right? I'm sitting here thinking about it, and I'm talking to these different people. And originally, I was supposed to have a room with a window, but then I decided that I think this might be the better bet. You know what I mean? Just because I don't want to be too distracted. I don't want to daydream and think about everything else other than whatever my work is. When you're in these walls, it kind of makes you feel like you're focused. And the fact that I worked in a variety of office spaces before, I have my own private. I've also been in common space with everyone. And then I've also just had, space that's it's a cool space, but I've also had spaces where it was just chill, like being in a library. I got my own segment, like my own personal space, so I could just be there. And it really just depends on the traffic and all type of stuff, right? How hectic. Now, do you work with a lot of people? Do you not work with a lot of people? Do you work well with a lot of people? Do you not work well with a lot of people? Thinking about these things, right? So then the next thing is that I included was really along the special needs, right? But then we talk about how many days, right? How many days? How often? And how often will this space be utilized, right? So, thinking about it, the guy asked me, he's like, well, how many days would you like? Now, let me tell you, there's a couple different options. You can have day pass, right? Let me write these down. The options. Day pass, month, year, right? Then, then also figuring out if you have a day pass, what's the quantity of people you can have, right? Can you have 1 to 3? Is it just a one person type thing? Because like sometimes when you go to different establishments, they have day passes, but it's admit one, right? Versus do you have a chance to have a couple different people? Now, if so, the day pass might be ideal if you're only going to be doing it maybe like 5 times throughout the month, right? 5 day passes might be okay, but it also depends on like what the range is as well, because sometimes you might be able to get a better deal with just doing a month, but are you wasting that time? Like you really have to pay attention, like how often am I going to be utilizing this office space, right? And if you are a person that has other employees, can they also come in? And if they can, how often would they use it? You have to have a calendar. You have to have a rotation, right? And really pay attention to that. That's number one, right? That was a question they asked me, and I looked at them like, what? But I already knew the answer. But I just had to sit there and think about it again because you never really know how these things transpire, right? So then we get into the next segment, right? Of month. Are you going to be using it every day? If you're going to be, I feel like if you're using an office space more than 10 times throughout the month, 10 days throughout the month, then you definitely probably should get you a monthly pass. Fair to say, right? Because then at least you have more opportunities to just go and do what you need to do when you need to do it. But I also say, like, make sure you're utilizing it. For me, I'm not quite like everyone hates Chris's father. How he's like, oh, that's 10 cent worth of milk. But if you think about it, because this is a professional setting. There are other people that may just be like yourself and I that actually do need to have it every day. But if you're thinking like, I'm not gonna use this every day, I don't have someone to come in here and use certain things every day, or if you just need a space, then okay. But at the same time, I feel like utilize what you need, figure out what you need, and then go from there, right? If you just need a day pass, you need a month, or you need a year. You just never know because sometimes people travel internationally and sometimes they just might work remote. There's so many different advantages that can come through. Now, also, if you want to have a legitimate type of business feel where you're getting mail, where you're getting all the amenities as if you literally work here because you work here, right? But you have you're your own company, your own entity. But if you have another entity that you're working for, okay, kudos. But if not, you got to think about these things, right? And really having that understanding first and foremost. So now let's get into number five. Number five is, oh man, yeah, I did talk about price range for number five. It's actually number six. Now we're going to get into the dates and the calendar and the time, right? Time, dates, and calendar. The next step is to figure out exactly how you want to go about these things. You got to execute these things because if you are putting yourself in a position as this, right, or if you're already in position of this, deciding where you would like to work, especially if you can work remotely from your job, you might want to really think about these aspects, right? And when I talk about the dates, the time, right? Because some places only are open from like say we'll give an example from like 8, maybe 8:30 to 5, right? Some places might be only open till 7. And depending on if you have a day pass, if you have a month pass, if you're a yearly tenant, excuse me, all these things transpire to utilizing to maximize your time. I'm very keen on utilizing what is given, resources, right? You have to know that resources are very much important, and you just gotta be like time is money, what they say, right? But at the same time, it's like you can spend time, but you can't always get these things back. So how do you utilize your time? And for me, like that's a huge thing for me because it's just like there's so many things that have to get done in a day. So many things that get done in a week. So many things that get done in a month, let alone a year. But we're not going to stress ourselves along those because you know us, we love checklists. Us Aussies always have to have a checklist. Checklists really get us going. So that is a very good idea to check these things off before you start searching. But you can also search while you're doing these to kind of get a range, a pull, you know what I'm saying? A pull of exactly what's working for you, what's not going to work for you, and exactly like what you know you don't need, but what you do need, right? So the next thing we're going to get into are the special needs and requirements. So I'm sitting here thinking to myself, right? This is the first time that I'm looking for office space. This is also the first time that I'm doing all this by myself. So feel free to drop comments, any suggestions that you might have. as well as your experience on how this is going. Also, don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Hit that bell notification so you know every time I come live. I decided to leave the child uh, to make it like available to children, just to see if there's more comments that come on here. But it's also gonna be child friendly ordeal. So another thing is too, some places will allow you to have dogs. Some places will allow you to bring your children. Some places have sensory put segments, right, where you can go and, for me, I'm autistic. You hear me clicking in and clicking off my pen. Yes, I do have to write with this, right? But at the same time, I have different moments where I'm like, okay, I need things to stimulate me. Is this an environment that you can be able to freely get up, get out the door, and walk through, right? What are your special needs to help you get going through, or your special needs and requirements that will help you and allow you to get through each day, right? And figuring out, once you figure out these and make a checklist, that will make it a lot easier before you really just hop into it. I promise you, do not just hop into it. I'm taking my own advice and I'm listening. Because I sat down in this office and I got a day where I could just chill. And I'm like, well, how do I want to go about this, right? And what are the best ordeals, because I want to make sure that I feel good, right? And say, like, I have a dog, it's a service dog. It's very much keen that if I can bring my dog in, I would love to. And she listens. She's an excellent model. In the house, she's free. She's free range because, like, what are we doing? You know what I'm saying? She knows what she need to do, what she don't need to do. But outside, she's very much to the T, right? Now, I let you tell it, right? And I'm gonna tell it how I tell it. Each day on. She listen to me, right? She listen to the folk that she needs to. The folk that don't, look. Anyway, so thinking about that too, like, can you bring your dog? Is it a pet friendly environment? Are you someone that partakes in coffee? Is coffee an amenity that you would like to have, right? Not only that is, like, you see, I told you I'm in a room that doesn't have windows. I prefer this because the offices that I seen in here, I wasn't really too happy on if I wanted to work in that, right? But this seemed very much ideal because I can improve my own lighting, right? I can have it on, I can have it off. I also have coffee. I have refrigerator amenities, right? As well as microwave, all those things, right? So is food something that is important to you? Give or take, it's important for everybody. But how much is it on your list of, do I need this, right? Because food gets us going. Also, do you have, I feel like yeah, just really, really thinking about special needs and requirements that you need for yourself is very key. And not only that, we're going to get into this next segment, which is very, very crucial to me. Because as I was going through my tour, there were certain things that kind of really rubbed me the wrong way. All right. And I feel like this is something that needs to be talked about, because there's so many options of, like, I've worked in so many variety of work environments, right? And the next thing we're gonna get into is the environmental factors and fields, right? Fields and factors. What are things that really get you going, and what are things that don't? Like for me, I love hospitality. Now, my biggest thing is that I've met so many different people, and in IFA, we are and IFA it's kind of goes along the same, like, not to read a book by its cover, right? And for those that don't understand, it's just like the appearance isn't everything. I could be sitting here looking like this. I can look like someone that's living on the street. I can have a $50 million suit on, right? And the way that people treat the next is very key, because it's like I have a plethora of people that I'm working with, different clients. And as you see, I have a seat section. I want my guests to be able to come in and not have to second guess, am I welcome here? Right? Do you? I personally don't want to walk into a place and feel or question if I'm welcome there. especially being the fact that if I'm going to be a tenant, that means that I'm already lawfully invited here. But for the maintenance has to qualify and count and also have to embody that grace, right? So thinking about those type of things. Also, like I mentioned, are there sensory inputs that's good for you, right? Being the fact is that there's so many different spaces that I can utilize, whether or not, because this place is really based off of monthly, as what I'm hearing. But there's a lot of places that you can go to for the day. I also suggest very highly that you check out the different places that you can rent out and test it out for a day. Test out the different rinks. Like give yourself the least amenities, medium amenities, to the most amenities, and feel for the day. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna take a walk around while I'm here just to see because I noticed that like when I came in, it took a while for the hospitality to kick in. I felt very much unwelcome here, and I made sure that when I came in, I had the least and most of like my presence is already heavy, right? But I made sure that like I wasn't coming with extra. I didn't have extra smell good on or I just came my own pheromones. I'm dressed pretty decent. I didn't want to have a suit on. I didn't want to do any of those things. I just wanted to come through and see, right? You see, you know, like, bang, right? I don't know, to each their own. But just understanding this, right? I came in here with the respect, right? Just basic respect to everybody, even the bellhop, the security, all of that. You feel what I mean? And just being able to feel comfortable is the thing. Everybody here, there's a lot of people here that seem uptight. I'm gonna test out other places, and I might just blog these. I don't know. But I would like to have that type of energy. That's the first thing that came to my mind was if I didn't feel welcome, how can my guests feel welcome? And being that it's the first time here, people shouldn't ever feel that. So that's just a mental note that I really felt was something I wanted to share. So now we get into the nitty gritty details, right? Number nine, what is this year? The year of nine. We're going to talk about what spaces fit best, right? Now, we have private and we have open spaces. Co, I say co-space, right? It's really like a community space. So 234 on the clock, and 234 in there is too loud. But anyway, um, excuse me. I feel that at first I was very open-minded, right? Because I've worked in so many environments where I'm in a cafe, I'm in a library, top of a building, hanging by the water, on the beach. It didn't really matter. I really stream anywhere, everywhere. But I also noticed that like I had to get certain gear to be able to do certain things because you never know the wind factors in, right? If you can't hear me, you don't want to sit there and watch what I'm doing. I also have another mic too that I was gonna set up. I probably should have just to see how it sounds, but I feel like I'm utilizing my voice pretty well. So I'll go back and listen to it to see how it sounds, but I thought that was a major point for the fact that I'm in this private segment. Now you can hear outside, it's not soundproof. I mean, well, some of it is for the most part. I'm not really hearing everybody, but it's not really many people in here. So that's another factor. Is how busy is it? Is this a commonly known place? Is it well not commonly known, but is this a commonly filled space, right? Filled space, or is this some place where it's like they have clientele but not crazy clientele, and or is it super packed? I don't really like to be in places that are super packed, and knowing that I can work private, and I think this works best for me, right? But I also don't mind being in a cold space because I like to see how other people work. I like to be in a networking like environment, and I want to be able to know, can I also just work in this, and can I go and just chill in another space, right? So yeah, let's do a little mini tour real quick. I'm gonna go and bring my cup back, wash it out, and we'll see. I want you to see what I'm talking about. You know what I mean? I just feel like it's only right. There's a nice little common area, and hold on, get a little bit of my beet juice in before it really get crazy. All right. So yeah, I'm gonna have a conversation with the rep too, because he told me I was possibly supposed to meet him, but since he wasn't at this location, it made it a little bit difficult for us to get these things done. The person that I met here was pretty chill, but again, it's all about like everything matters. I just can't emphasize that enough. Like everything matters. You know, there's certain things just like that's smooth. Oh, that's all right. It's a nice little like it's a nice little sitting area. It's chill. It's vibe. It feels amazing, and I have to just relax. But yeah, I feel like all these factors are very important when it comes to what to expect, what to think, what to learn. Hello, how are you? But yeah, so she said I might come back and wash it out. But this is type what I'm saying. Like I'm, I have so many different aspects to me when it comes to how I work, what I get done, what like how effective I guess I am. And I'm pretty much effective in everything that I do. But it's just little things like that. That lady is minority like me, and I didn't come disrespectful. My camera's just on me, and the lady was looking at me like, "What are you doing here?" So I feel like all these things are very much important when you're figuring out what's important to you, right? How, what type of environment do you need when you're getting things done, and what type of things are laid back. Like if I wanted to just, I can get all these things done at my house, right? But it just feels nice to me to come out and chill. I don't really think I'm gonna stick with this place, to be honest. I feel that there's a lot of things that need to be adjusted, but in the meantime, there are many, many more locations, and that's the best thing. Plus, this angle is given. But anyway, that's what I thought I'd share with you all. I'm gonna be back with you all again, and hopefully, these things were very much beneficial to you. And to, well, I feel it was for myself because I don't know. This is all new to me. Everything is new, and I feel like I really will get into this vlogging. I think I could get used to this. I think I'm gonna like it here. But really getting used to doing these vlog activities and showing you all the process because it's just me. I got a couple of people, but everything I do is me. And I have to figure these things out on my own. I don't necessarily have a lot of people, like I said in the beginning, to really help go through these ropes, right? Everything I'm doing is always new. And I'm excited to share these new adventures with you all as well as myself. And knowing that I'm the change that I look to see. I know this lighting is kind of giving. Maybe I should go like this so y'all can see me better. Oh, you saw that halo? I'm telling you, the orbs are everywhere. The vibes is everywhere. It's just, it's amazing. It's amazing. But I hope you all enjoyed. And actually, I feel like I should go through one more time, even though we're in that 30-minute time. But I just thought I'd let you know. We're gonna go through one more time on the things you should think about before renting an office space, right? Sensory. For me, being autistic, that's everything. But also for other people too. Like, do you need to have a window? Do you feel that being in a closed space like this is cool? Do you think that being in a community room is better? Because I don't know, there's certain assigned seats. It's kind of like a classroom versus it being like how do I versus an office, right? Excuse me. I might do a mini video where I run through and show you all, but I feel like teach their own. I don't know exactly how deep I want to get into this vlogging, but we're gonna try. Okay, so the next thing is space, right? How much space do you need? Really nailing that on the head so you can make sure that you are you already have things set up before you go. You're not just kind of guessing. Don't follow me, but follow me. You know what I'm saying? I just get away with it. I don't know. I just do what I do. I see something and the Aries in me just go for it. Doesn't matter. I calculated everything that can happen before I just go through. But I just figured it's only right. It's only right. It's only right. It's only right. Right? Hold on. Let me sit down. You know what I'm saying? Let me sit down a little bit. Well, I'll just do this. So, you know what I'm saying? Bomb. But anyway, the next thing that we need to check off is, are you okay being alone? Do you work well on your own? Do you work best when there's other people around? All those aspects are very much key to figuring out the best and most productive work environment for yourself. And not just yourself, but others, right? Then we get into how often with will the space be utilized, right? How often are you going to be in this space? You got to think about these things because you don't want to waste money. You don't want to waste time. And really not, and if money is not really so much on your worries, it still comes down to the fact of money, right? Because it's like other people could be spending money on this, right? And the space is always open for people that's willing to do so. So it's good to not be selfish, really, right? And utilize what you need and leave the rest for the next. That's what I say in my readings because not everything's going to resonate. Some things do. Take what it does and leave the rest, you know? So then the next thing you want to think about is price range. How much are you trying to spend? Do you want to budget this? Are you trying to go extravagant? And mind you, there's a plethora of choices that you can do. And money doesn't really have to be an issue. Now, if you're focused and you get the work done, it'll pay off, right? What do they say? You follow, you stay, if you're aligned with what's best for you, the rest will follow. You know what I mean? Like, don't worry about it. If something that you really want to do, if there's a way, you'll get it done, right? And just work your way up to it. If you know certain things that you can't afford right now, you will. But don't say you can't. Just know that it's here. Think it, manifest it, and you got it, right? So, like I said, I'm obtaining this idea of really having this space and doing these things because I haven't worked in the office in a while, but I'm excited about it, right? So the next thing we have is our is number 6, right? Time, dates, and calendars. Make a calendar. Figure out the time ranges that are open. When I say time, I mean all the different places you can rent out at different time frames, right? And figuring out, is it kiosk based? Is this only check-in based? Because if it's 9 to 5 and you're working after 5 and you leave out, you're not gonna be able to come back. But figuring out places if it's 24/7. If it's 24/7, that's your best bet, right? So the next thing is dates too. You gotta really pay attention to the dates and really pay attention because like if you're renting from month to month, you're gonna want to make sure that you're on time with your payments, that everything is set up. Probably I say maybe stick with a card versus cash. You know, a lot of people don't really pay with cash as much, I guess I'm hearing. But at the same time, I feel like it's better for you so you don't have to get double charged, right? At least you have your retainer, everything's set there, everything's good. Then the next thing is special needs and requests. What are your special needs and requests to get your job, to get your juices flowing, right? To make sure that you're the most productive and prosperous environment and prospering self, right? Because you want to make sure that everything you're doing will be utilized. Like you don't want to just be wasting time, wasting money, wasting space. Literally funny, right? Wasting space in a space that is for productivity. So I can understand why certain people can act certain ways, but at the same time, it's just like you just never know who you're gonna meet, and it's not. You should just be kind to everybody, right? You just never know. Just never know, right? I could be coming here to buy the whole building, and the whole time you over here thinking like, oh, this and third, you're fired. You just never know. You never know. You never know. Treat everyone with the same grain, right? Let the rest follow. If they're not worthy of those things, like they say you gotta give respect to get it, right? I just say give it off with, right? Just understand, like, you just never know. It's like undercover boss type vibes. You feel me? Okay, so the next thing is environmental feels. How do you feel, right? Like I told you, hospitality is everything. Do you want to be around people that don't really want you to be around? Like, is that gonna affect your work flow, right? Thinking about that and just really like, and also if you're gonna have other clients coming in, will your clients be comfortable? If you're not comfortable, how can your clients be comfortable? You got to put all those things in what makes comfortability for you, right? Then the last thing that we're going to get into is private, open, or closed space. What's the best environment you feel will work for you? So until the next time, we're going to get into it. Thanks for hanging with me for my vlog, and Ashe.